guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And today, thanks to the folks at the Transformers Collector Club, we'll be taking a look at the TCC exclusive Old Snake with Advanced Stealth Bat Duo. And this is an absolutely outstanding set that I know myself as well as a lot of fans are really looking forward to. Old Snake, in case you don't know, appeared in one episode in Season 3 titled Only Human. And obviously, he is the older version of Cobra Commander. Now, it was never really officially kind of revealed that he's Cobra Commander, but every single thing just homages Cobra Commander, all the way down to him being voiced by Chris Latta. So us fans really have taken to this and basically has said that this is an older version of him, many years removed from the events in G.I. Joe. But for the package, you can see a really nice clamshell that fully reveals and showcases the figures within, and you got this really cool Cobra and Decepticon logo right here, which looks great, and that's also on this back card, which really has a cool look. And again, unfortunately, this is not a reusable package. I really wish they would have went with that in this. At least have some kind of a package where it's like the plastic could fold out and then kind of clip back into place or something. I think that would have been great, especially, you know, since this is an adult collectible. I know a lot of collectors would probably love to keep this in package, but I gotta open this thing. Come around here to the bottom, and it's a little advertisement to tell you to join the club, and that's really the best way to get these figures and all their exclusives, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. But you come around here to the back of it, and you got a nice product shot showing the Bat both in its robot mode and his jet mode, and obviously, as you can tell, that's a repaint of the Transformers Prime Soundwave. You also see a shot of Old Snake as well as a couple Energon cubes, and then you got a bit of a bio here for both Old Snake as well as the Bats. So if you would like to read that, go ahead and pause it, and you can get a little bit of a read up on basically what happens after the events of that episode Only Human, which really helps to kind of, you know, broaden the character and give us a glimpse of what happened to that old rascal Cobra Commander, I'm sorry, Old Snake. But for the packaging, that's about it. Like I said, I know a lot of fans are really excited about this particular set, so without further ado, let's get these guys opened up and see how cool they actually are. Alright guys, so here we have Old Snake and the Advanced Stealth Bat Duo opened up and out of the packaging. And I do want to, again, touch on this packaging. I mean, this is the best that I was able to do it. Kind of move these guys off to the backside here. You can see that I was able to actually open it, but if they're not going to make this where it's a reusable package, I really do wish that they would include these as an extra piece kind of on the inside. You do get the instructions to know how to transform these guys, but I don't want to keep this package if I can't, you know, reuse it for anything. I mean, it's a nice package, and I might actually keep it just because I did manage to open it fairly decently, but I really wish they would kind of include these as separate pieces. I mean, they do that with a lot of their other kind of exclusives, and I just really think that something like this would really benefit from that. But as I said, here you have them opened up and out of their packaging. Obviously, the Bat Duo here is just a repaint. There's no retooling or anything like that. But it's a very nice repaint of the Transformers Prime Soundwave. And I really do think that this looks absolutely terrific in that role as, you know, the Bat Trooper or whatever you want to call it. This really does have a very cool look. I love how they replace I guess you could say there is some remolding. Instead of having the solid piece here, they actually have a clear translucent piece for the face of the guy. I mean, this is really very, very cool. I've really always loved the mold, and I just think that it works wonderfully with this. Now, in the story, if you looked at the actual back of the package, basically the whole idea for this is that after the events in Only Human, Old Snake still has a great idea and decides to implement it with kind of an old idea with the Bats, basically making them transforming kind of drones and utilizing what he learned when he was able to control the Autobots and incorporating them here. Like I said, just repaints. I'm not going to show you how to transform them. It is the same transformation, but I do have one in its robot mode, and then you also have his vehicle mode. You got a really cool paint scheme that comes through here as well. You got the very nice Cobra and Decepticon logo there on the wings. You come around here to the bottom, and you can see it's pretty much the same. I love how the front here is actually painted like it's the face of the robot mode. I think that's really cool. I still can't get these to connect that. I remember that being a problem in the original mold for it. One problem that I do have, and it's basically because of the way that it's packaged. These are kind of squished. Now, this one isn't all that bad, but you can see this one is very warped. I will have to heat that up and then freeze it, hopefully keeping it in the proper position. But you can see it's a softer rubber. And like I said, that's just because of the way that the figures are packaged. It kind of squishes things, and that's a little unfortunate, but it is something that you can fix. Both of these figures do come with laser beak, I guess. I don't know if you actually call it laser beak or not, but you still have that little accessory, and you can bring it around here, and you can still obviously attach it. I think that it's just a real great use of everything basically on this figure to really bring home that bat look. Now, he also does come with 2 Energon cubes. They are hollow. You can see from one end, you can stick your hand in there, but I love having Energon cubes. I think it's a great accessory to have with any Transformers, and having these kind of displayed there, you know, and having a bunch of these spread out throughout my various displays really does help to kind of add something to that look. So I dig that. I wish there was a way I could get a bunch of these, but a lot of people will probably say that Old Snake here is probably the main piece of this set, even though I really do think that the bats are cool just by themselves as well. So getting him to stand there if he wants to. He does come with this display stand. You can see, as opposed to Mercer Fairborn where it said G.I. Joe across it, the Old Snake figure has the Cobra logo on there, which is fine. Now that works for me because it is meant to, or Old Snake is meant to be an older version of Cobra Commander, you know, set like 20 years or so after the events in G.I. Joe the cartoon. So it makes sense that they would still have that, because I mean, he's still Cobra, but the figure himself, unfortunately, like I said, I don't know a lot about G.I. Joe, so I can't necessarily tell you what is reused on this, what has been repainted, whatever. I mean, it does have an absolute amazing resemblance to how Old Snake looked in the cartoon. You can see he comes with a backpack. I don't necessarily remember him, it probably goes like that. I don't necessarily remember him wearing a backpack in the show. It's entirely possible, but I don't remember paying much attention to the back of him. So you do get that. You also do get this little handgun, fits in his hand very nicely. He also does have a holster for it on the side that you just kind of wedge right inside there, so you can store that. But this is really very cool. You can see you got that very iconic Cobra Commander sort of look on there, you know, with the actual visor on him and stuff. In the Transformer episode, he did kind of go incognito, and by that he wore this big trench coat and he wore a hat. It didn't really hide him very well because he's got a very obvious chrome dome for his face. So I don't know how that this is going to actually hide him. But overall, really nice detail. I like how they got the red on the inside here of the collar of his jacket. That was very prominent in the actual episode. A lot of red on things like his arms. You come around to the back, you got some nice pouches that are molded into his jacket. There is no reason really to have this little squared peg section or rectangular peg section. I would imagine that's just from whatever figure this was meant to be initially. But come down here, you got nice blue pants as Cobra Commander did. You got some really cool black boots. Articulation wise, you got the head joint, which is on a ball joint, as you can see, that you can just rotate around and position however you want. You got pin joints here for the shoulders, so they move in and out, rotate all the way around. They bend here at the elbow. They also rotate. He rotates at the wrist. Come down here, you got that same kind of waist cut right here. And also, well, actually, does he actually have a waist cut below that? He kind of looks like he's got a waist cut and an abdomen cut, but I can't really rotate. The rotation is coming here from the abdomen section, but you do get some forward and back here in the lower abdominal area. The legs are on pin or ball joints that you can kind of see through the bottom, but because of the rest of his trench coat, you're not getting a lot of range of motion. He does have two joints here for the knee, so you can get him bending. These are a little bit softer of pieces, so you can kind of flex those around, but it's still a little bit restricting, especially like right here. You're not getting a full range of motion going forward with his leg. And then come down here to the ankle, moves forward and back, and that also rotates. So a lot of articulation in this guy. The bat figure is exactly the same in terms of all the articulation that the original Transformers Prime Starscream had. You do have the little bit of a ball joint here at the neck. The shoulders do rotate. They move in and out. A lot of weird articulation points here in the shoulder area. You can swivel it forward and back. You can bend here if you really wanted to. The hips here are on ball joints. They also rotate at the upper part of the thigh. He's got two joints here at the knee. And then I guess you could say ankle tilt or pivot. It moves forward. But all in all, This is an absolute terrific set. I think that of the two sets that we got from these guys, this is probably the best. And I guess I should have focused things a little bit, so I do apologize for that. But I really do think that this is the best set between this and the Marissa Fairborn and Afterbreaker set. Granted, Old Snake was only in one episode, whereas Marissa kind of appeared in multiple ones. But I really do think that Old Snake is a little bit more of an iconic character. And when it really comes down to it, I really think that most collectors would prefer to have Old Snake in their collection than that Marissa Fairborn character. Now, if you do want to pick this or any of their figures up, the best way is always to go through the Transformer Collector Club. So again, I'm going to put a link down in the video description where you can check out the options for joining. And like I said, honestly, that is the best way to get these figures. You're going to pay, obviously, to join the club, but that price will include a free yearly figure, 4 magazines throughout the course of the year, and then discounts on all their released figures. So it really is a well worth club to consider joining. So as I said, all that information will be down in the video description. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. And I want to send a very special thanks to the Transformer Collector Club for making this review possible. But until next time, this has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.